Hi, I'm Nancy, and welcome to Chair Yoga. We're going to do a session today that starts in the chair, and then at the second part of the session, we'll come around behind the chair and be able to have the support of the back of the chair if you would like. Find a chair that is no arms and that is fairly straight back so that it allows you to have that support of the back and also be able to use the sides of the chair as you come around in twists, for example. We'll start with breathing. Please modify any way you would like as we go through this. Consider the body that you inhabit and the joints as they are, accepting limitations as well as your possibilities. So anytime you need to sit something out or just do part of something or a little lesser amount of it, please feel free to do that. Part of yoga is learning about your own body and what it can do. Through this session, I'll read parts of The Bow by the Tao Te Ching. I always like to throw in a little something interesting as we go. We'll start with breathing and then we'll go into warm-ups and postures. Sit on the front part of your chair, so your sits bones are on the edge of the chair and your feet firmly planted in front of you. If your chair is quite low compared to your knees, you might want a pillow under your hips. If your chair is high compared to your feet, you might want a pillow under your feet. But hopefully you can find a chair that gives you a fairly easy way of sitting. We'll start by breathing. Feel the sits bones coming down into the chair. The spine is alert and relaxed. The gaze is soft. Relax down through the chin and the jaw. Lift up through the back of the skull. Long through the spine. Shoulder blades relaxed against the rib cage. Notice the breath coming in through the nostrils and throat into the lungs. And as you notice it, notice the quality. Is it rough or smooth, fast or slow? No judgment, just what's happening here. And as you bring your attention to the breath, perhaps it slows and deepens, becomes more smooth. Let the breath fill the lungs, front and back. Let it fill the lungs, left and right. Relax down through the abdominal wall, allowing the diaphragm to expand down into the belly. Feel the breath filling the whole torso. Be aware of the inhale and the exhale, trying to make those equal with each other. So the inhale might be 1, 2, 3, 4, and the exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Choosing your own rate and speed. Aspiring just to make the inhale and exhale equal. A breath that decreases stress in the body. Bringing attention to the breath allows you to relax, allows you to feel, to hear what the body has to say. 2 more equal breaths. Then opening the eyes, bring the hands along the side. Inhale as fingers reach out, arms reach out to the side. Long inhale as you come up. Palms meet above the head or palms are facing each other. Hesitate for just a moment. And exhale down. Long exhale. Coming down as if you're coming down through honey. One more time. Long inhale up. Pause at the top of the inhale. And exhale down. Pausing for just a moment at the bottom of the exhale. Bring the hands back onto the thighs. One hand comes to the side of the chair and the other one rises up. Side bend over and over on the other side. Take whatever amount of side bend feels right for you. People are at very different places with their bodies. Keep track of where you're feeling the side bend. Perhaps through the side ribs, even armpit, shoulder, up through the arm, and slowly come back through center. We've started to open up our spine in a sideways lateral direction. Now we're going to start to open it up in a twist, and just a very gentle twist at first, bringing one arm around to the opposite leg. Other comes back onto the chair, either the side or the back of the chair. Turn the body just sideways, not trying to go any farther than that. Then coming around to the other side. And back and forth. Beginning to open up the spiral capacity of the spine. Again, not something that we do very often in our everyday life, but something that keeps the spine flexible and open. Come back through center. Bring the left hand up to the right cheek and turn the chin slightly towards the shoulder. Inhale as cheek pushes into hand, and then exhale as the hand gently draws the chin around towards the shoulder. Inhale, let cheek go into hand, and exhale, bring chin around to shoulder, and pause for a moment for a breath here, relaxing through the sides of the neck and the shoulders. Release, and the right hand goes to the left cheek. Chin turns slightly, then inhale, pushing cheek into hand. Exhale, turn chin toward shoulder. Inhale, cheek into hand. Exhale to shoulder. Soft through the neck and the shoulders. A breath here. Release the neck back to center. Let arms be along the side. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. Then roll the shoulders back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Shoulders come down and forward. One more time. Up to the shoulders and back. Down. Forward. Up. Come up to the shoulders and then gently let the shoulders relax down. Shoulder blades coming down. Gaze is soft. One more time. Lift the shoulders up. 3, 2, and 1, and let the shoulders come down. Arms come out directly to the side. We're going to turn at the waist and the lower ribs, but nothing else moves. Arms remain out from the shoulders to the sides. Shoulders are still, Gaze is still. The only thing moving is the thoracic torso as the waist swivels you back and forth. This twist opens the spiraling in the spine a little farther up in the medium level of the spine. One more time around to the other side, and we'll come back through the middle. Let hands come down. Legs can come wide. Hands are on thighs or perhaps knees. Inhale as the chest rises, gaze rises a bit. Exhale as spine reaches back towards the wall behind you. So this is a cat-cow, opening up through the front of the spine, and as you exhale, opening up through the back of the spine. 2 more times, opening front, gaze slightly raised, lifting through the breastbone, and then opening through the back of the spine. And 1 more time. Coming back through center, make sure that your hips are fairly far up, so it's just your sits bones on the edge of the chair. Knees are wide and hands are anchored on the seat of the chair. Let the knees fall to one side and then to the other. The heel can lift up. We're working on opening up the hips here. Let it be a free and easy movement. Now we'll let an arm come in. So as we go to that side, arm comes the opposite direction over, that hand comes back to the chair, and the other arm circles round. So the arm takes on its own momentum after a while, increasing the stretch and the twist, both in the hips and the rest of the body. 1 more time on each side. Then bring the foot under that front knee and let the arm come up diagonally on the side as the foot comes out diagonally on the toes in the back for an opening through that whole side of the body for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands back onto the chair, shift over, bringing the weight into the other hip and foot. That back leg stretches out and the arm stretches out diagonally. Breathing through the body for 3, 2, and 1. And come back through center. Now we're going to cross legs, or if that's hard for you, you can cross ankles. So either crossing ankles or crossing legs. Then bring the arm that is opposite the crossed leg across the body. Give it some help from the hand just above the elbow. Hand might be on the back of the shoulder, giving some stretch to this shoulder and opening it up. 1 more breath here. Release. Come to whatever cross of the legs works for you, ankles or thighs. And the other arm, opposite of the top leg, comes across. The hand might be just on the shoulder, or it might be even on the chest. Find what's right for your shoulder, always considering the issues that you have. 1 more breath here. And come down. Opening up that shoulder a little bit more. Inhale as one arm reaches up, follow the fingers up with your gaze, and just as far as works for you to follow the gaze with the fingers back and down and up. When you get to the bottom of the circle, let the arm come back the opposite direction just once around as it reaches back and up and down. And do whatever part of that works for you. We'll do the other side. So starting with the arm down by the side and then lifting fingers in a circle up. Gaze will follow as long as it can. And the back arm might come straight down and might come back farther depending on your shoulder capacity. One more time around. And back around the other direction. Making the circle round. Again, making sure that you're on your sits bones at the edge of your chair. Bring your hands underneath your thigh, just above the knee, and open up the leg forward. So I'm in this kind of posture, and it can be whatever works for you. It might be very low or a little higher. We're going to rotate the ankle. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then round the other way 6 or 7 times. 3, 2, and 1. Now, in the same posture, stretch out through the heel. So this is going to open up the back of the leg, and your leg doesn't need to be high here. The opening is coming through the calf and through the hamstrings, and the knee might still be quite a bit bent, but simply find a position that brings some stretch that's gradually opening the back of the leg. Maybe lift that leg just a little bit more and turn the toes just slightly towards the shoulder. So the toes are just slightly turned towards the shoulder. Again, push out through that heel a little bit more. For 3, 2, and 1, and come down. We'll do that with the other leg. So stretching the leg out at whatever angle is good for you, and rotating the ankle 6 or 7 times. 3, 2, and 1, and back the other way. 3, 2, and 1. Now press through the heel so that you're opening up through the calf and perhaps a little bit through the hamstrings. You probably feel it most through the calf here. Soft through the knee. The leg might come up just a little bit more, and the toes might turn towards the shoulder. Then increase the ankle, toes coming towards the shoulder just a little bit more, and bring it down. Now coming back to a seated position, bring the arms so that they are bent. So I have my upper arms right against the body, and the elbows are bent. My feet are firm on the floor. I'm going to move my arms by squeezing my shoulder blades together. So it's these muscles in here between the spine and the shoulder blades that are doing the work. I'm not moving with my arms. So using those muscles, these are important posture muscles, and this small movement can help to open you up through the chest, something that we constantly need in this world of computers and phones and chairs. For 3, squeeze together, and 1, and come back. Now bring the legs out in front of you, so you're on your heels and you're on the edge of the chair. Then let the hands come forward towards the knees. Hands are on the thighs towards the knees, and then bring the torso forward. So my sits bones are pulling down, but I'm pulling forward through my bottom, the lower part of my abdomen. And shoulder blades are resting down, and come back up. So this is a subtle movement. Everything comes forward, And then the torso comes forward just a little bit more, sits bones pulled down, and you're pulling down through the lumbar, lower spine, and then pulling a bit forward up through the belly, and shoulder blades are resting down the back. Chest is coming forward, and come back up. We'll do that one more time. Feeling the stretch through the lower back and up through the torso. Then if you'd like to come to a C shape with the back, gently opening the space between the vertebrae, bringing a C shape to the spine. Before you come up, straighten the spine and then come up. Now we're going to slide hands down just as far as works for you. Your legs might be wide for this, or they might be together. Either way is fine. See how far you can slide your legs down. Let the gaze stay forward. Relax through the jaw. Relax through the throat. So you might feel that the chest and the eyes are reaching out towards the horizon. And come back up. Feet are wide, not as wide as they have been, but wider than hip width apart. And we'll bring one ankle up onto the top of the other thigh, just above the knee. If this doesn't work for you, you can always do the ankle over the shin or over the ankle. So the point here is to be opening up the hip. This is a figure 4 that sometimes we do lying down, and we're doing it in a chair. Come back to your breathing. Let the gaze be soft as you give some time for that hip to relax, for the glutes to relax, abdominal wall to be soft. And let the breath help you to relax. Release that leg and bring the other leg up to wherever works for you to open that hip a little bit more. I'm definitely different on one side, not opening as much. Relaxing down through lips and tongue, through pelvic floor and abdominal wall. And breathing. And release. Now hold the chair back behind you. Sits bones are towards the edge, although you have to be enough on the chair to keep your balance, right? Because we're going to be leaning back just a bit and bringing one leg up, toe comes down, and the other leg lifts up. So to show you from the side, my knees are still bent, but the movement comes from the hip, lifting up and down for toe taps. If you want more challenge, you could not touch the toes to the floor. But that's not necessary. This is giving you good exercise for the quad muscles and range of motion for the hips. 2 and 1. Now sitting once again firmly in the chair, and if it's more comfortable for you to come back into your chair, that's fine. Bring the arms so that the hands are on the top of the head with the palms up. Come back a little bit so you can see me. So my palms are up, and as I inhale, I'm pushing up towards the sky. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, push up the sky, hold it up, and exhale down. 2 more times. Bring the arms down. We're going to pretend we have a bow, and the string of the bow is right here. We're getting it with our left hand and bringing it across the chest. The elbow sticks out to the side there. Then this other hand is pushing the wood of the bow. And you can have your palm just straight out as you push out in the other direction, as if you're pushing out the wood of the bow forward. And you'll feel some stimulation along your arm there. Turn the head so that you gaze out in the direction of where your imaginary arrow is headed. And then other side, pull the string across and push the bow out. Pause for a moment there for a breath. And then finding your own rate, going back and forth as you stretch the bow and the string. The Tao Te Ching says, the way of heaven is like a bow bent to shoot. Its top end brought down, its lower end raised up. It brings the high down, lifts the low, takes from those who have, and gives to those who have not. So rather than the top end going up here, it's coming down. And you might just do that as the Tao Te Ching suggests, bringing your hand that's pushing the bow out down a little bit. And come back through center. Now bring one hand down to catch the chair on the side. The other arm comes up. Bring the weight into the hip underneath the raised arm. Stretch up through that arm and then come over. Not such a broad side bend, but more a stretching up and over side bend. Come back. Bring the weight into the other hip, holding onto the chair. Down below on the other side, then stretching up through this side of the body, stretch up, and then come over, letting the arm be soft and the hand hang over the head. One more time on each side. Stretch up and come over. Switch, stretch up first and come over. Come back through center. Move your body over so that just one hip is on the chair, and raise the knee, bring the hand down to catch shin or ankle or the front of the foot for a quad stretch. So if you see me from the side, this is what I'm doing. And you might be here, anything that brings a little bit of opening to the front of the hip. So when we do chair yoga, that's one of our challenges, is to open ourselves through the front of the hip. We sit in a chair and that stays contracted for most of the time. 2 more breaths here, letting the gaze be soft. Relaxing through the front of the thigh, through the back of the thigh, and the knee. Release. And bring the body over to the other side of the chair. Take the leg in any way you can here. And open the quad and the front of the hip just as much as feels right, giving yourself some ability to anchor yourself on the other side with that hand on the chair. Relax through your face and your neck, down through your torso, through abdomen, and then down through the quad, front and back. My dog has just entered the scene. Perhaps you hear her settling in. One more breath here. and release. Let's stand and come to the back of the chair. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing here. Just take your time to come around to the back of the chair. Then bringing the hands onto the back of the chair, walk back, securing your hands for support, walking back just as far as is comfortable. The hips can be above the ankles, so you might walk back far enough that you're stretching completely from hands through elbows, down through the sides of the body, the shoulders, feeling that stretch through the hips, maybe working the feet back just a little bit farther as your body lengthens through the torso. One more breath here. Press yourself up, then take a few steps forward, coming to just about a foot behind the chair. Hands are on the back of the chair, and open through the front of the body, hips coming slightly towards the back of the chair, and gaze lifting. Straighten the body, bring the feet back just a little bit farther, and try it once again, finding where's the right place to give you the maximum opening in the front of the body that still works for the various parts of your body. Then we'll come back into downward dog, walking back, stretching through arms and sides. Again, find your place that's right. It might be much closer or it might be farther. For 3, 2, and 1. Weight goes forward, feet come forward. Come to that place that allows you the maximum opening in the front of the body. Your body becomes like a bow going forward, and gaze goes up. We'll do that flow one more time, coming back into downward dog. And stepping forward for a back bend, making your whole body like a bow. And come back to an upright position. Now we're going to do a warrior 1. So one foot comes forward and one foot comes back. The back foot is at 30 degrees, the front foot, the toes are forward. And there is some space, it's as if you're on railroad tracks, so there's some space between the heels. The hips turn, so find a comfortable place. If you need that foot to be more straight in the back, that's fine, so that the hips are facing towards the chair. Keep one hand on the chair. Front leg is bent so the knee is right over the ankle. Open the hand along the side. If it works for you to bring both hands back, slightly back behind the body with palms open, that's fine, or one hand. Either one is fine. Make sure that you're stable. And if you have one hand, then change, bring the other hand up. The point here being to open up through the chest, shoulder blades come together a bit. Now bringing the hand of the front leg, so the hand of the front leg arches forward and up, opening up through the front of the body. That hand comes down to the back of the chair, the other arm comes back and arches up. Relax through the throat, nape of the neck, tucking up, relax down through the spine, and come back down. Both hands to the chair as you switch feet, and the other one comes back. Find whatever angle is right for that back foot. It might be at 30 degrees, or it might be straighter towards the front, hips aligning towards the front. Open one arm or two back along the sides of the body, palms forward to open through the chest, allowing the shoulder blades to come together a little bit. nothing radical here, just gradual. Then arch that one arm up and reach up, relax through the jaw, and come back down. Switch hands, other arm arches up. Excuse me. Feel the stretch through the front of the body. And come back down. Before we end here, we're going to do a warrior two. So bringing your hands onto the back of the chair, one foot is going to be facing forward and the other one facing to the side. The knee in the front is going to be right over the ankle, and you might have a shorter stance or a longer stance. Two hands can stay on the chair if you would like. If that's too much torque on the knee, the foot can turn in a bit here, or torque on the hip. The front of the body stays to the front and the neck turns. The front arm comes out, if that works for you, over those front toes, shoulder blades relaxing down the back. This is a kind of bow stance again, so we come back to the bow. Such is the way of heaven. Not so the human way. It takes from those who have not to fill up those who have. Who has enough to fill up everybody? Only those who have the way. Bring that arm in and switch sides. So your front toes again coming forward with the knee bent over the ankle and the back foot at 30 degrees. Shifting any toes as you need to. The front of the body facing forward and the neck turning so that the gaze is over the front fingers. The Tao Te Ching ends this bow poem, so the wise do without claiming, achieve without asserting, wishing not to show their worth. And being flexible like a bow. So coming back through center, let's come back to our chairs. A few moments of breathing before we end here. Come back into that equal breath. Inhale and exhale of equal length. Allowing the breath to relax us and soften us. Feeling relaxed through the shoulders and down through the torso to sits bones. Nose and jaw relaxed. Heart and lungs soft. Feeling the bottom of the feet against the earth, grounded. The mind coming into the body, like salt shaking down through matter. Two more breaths. Bringing hands to a heart center. May you be healthy. May you be free from fear. Yet may you be flexible like a bow. And may you achieve without showing your worth. Namaste. Good. Good to practice with you. See you the next time.